Yeah, so it was going really well. I mean, Caldecott Castle was done. I'd had a good time there. I was moving on to the next location. I was still only a couple of hours into the whole epic. You know, what could go wrong really? It just seemed that everything was just falling into place already so early, which was a real bonus, I have to say. Hello, you alright?
Yeah, I'm alright. I'm just speaking to Mum, but I thought I'd better answer you in case you're in terrible dire straits.
No, I'm perfectly fine. I'm just phoning to say I'm alright and just to say hello really. I'm in Monmouthshire.
Monmouthshire, Mum.
I've just gone to a castle called Caldecott Castle
He's just gone to Caldecott Castle.
and I've finished with that, and now I'm heading.
Was it a success?
Yeah, it was good. It was nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
you think your friend does know what he's talking
Oh,
about?
he knows exactly what he's talking about. And now,
Yeah.
now I'm heading off to a Woodland, which is only 15-minute drive, so it's all quite well planned out at the moment. So
Oh,
yeah,
it's all quite well planned out, but somebody knew what they were bloody talking about.
I know.
Isn't it?
It is. It is.
Gary likes woodland photography, so next on my list was Wentwood. I'm currently at Cadira Beaches, which is about 6 miles from the last location, Caldecott Castle. So you've probably only done 10 miles into Wales so far. This is, I think it's called Cadira Beaches, that's the name of the car park. The wood is actually Wentwood Woods. Wentwood Woods, yeah. I've been here a couple of times and it's a mixture of deciduous and conifers. And a little bit of silver birch. Very nice. But it's really a really vast woodland, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't really explored it a lot, but it's got potential. As you can see, the fern, the bracken is starting to turn already, and I'm sure somebody like yourself who loves a bit of woodland, have an hour or two in here and you would pick up an image or two.
So this place is called Wentwood Forest. Thank you again, Alan, for the English sounding location. Wow. It looks amazing, and I've got to say it's 15 minutes from the last spot, so you know, if it had been me, I'd have probably driven to somewhere about an hour away, so you know, much better that Alan's doing the organising here. But this looks really great, and yeah, it's just I think it's going to be really good. I'm going to spend a good amount of time in here. I'm going to have a good search around and see what I can find. Hopefully some really nice woodland compositions, and you never know, I might actually find a bit of fungi as well. But before all of that, I need to change my socks, otherwise I'm going to be growing my own fungi. I got a bit wet at the last place.
When you arrive at the car park, the best part of the woodland is on the car park side.
Right. So I pulled up and I've immediately come over the other side of the road, simply because when I was driving down, behind me back here somewhere, I thought I saw some really nice birches that might look quite good, but it's well, as you can probably see behind me, there's a lot of felled trees here. So again, similar to last time I was out in Woodland, this particular area is quite messy. I feel like there's a shot here. You know what I mean? I feel like there's something here, but it's just finding it. So I'm just going to have a little look around, and when I get something, or if I get something, then I'll come back to you. Otherwise, I'll probably head back over the road and go through the trees by the car park and see what's about down there. Yeah, I think I've usually got quite a bit of a sixth sense about this. You know, I arrive somewhere, and even though, you know, I can't initially see a shot, generally they tend to appear. I think that's what happens when you've got an awful lot of experience as a real seasoned landscape photographer. Well, let me tell you something. I taught that boy everything he knows about photography, and I know bugger all. And I would say 99 times out of 100, if I go somewhere and I think there's a shot, there's definitely a shot there. And it's a question of perseverance. It's all about not giving up. It's about sticking in one place, you know, looking around, you know, exploring all the different avenues to try and find that image. But the most important thing is just really not to give up. So I'm going to be honest here, I've had a look and the light's lovely, but the competition, no matter where I go really, is way too messy. There's just not enough interest in it, and there's too many distractions. So I'm going to move on. Well, yeah, obviously, I mean, it's also quite important to know when to leave as well, when to know that there's not a shot. And as important as it is to spend a lot of time looking for a shot when there usually is one, it's also quite important to leave quite quickly when you come to the realisation that there isn't a shot. I mean, that's common sense, isn't it? I mean, it's what being an experienced photographer tells you, surely. So yeah, I know I said I was going, but I'm still here. What? There's just something about these trees. I knew there was something about them. It was just trying to find them in the right context. And I was looking at taking them in the sort of in the environment, so more a shot of the brightness of the trees against the darkness of the background. But actually, I think what really works is just focusing right in on these trunks and just looking at the texture on them and the moss on them and the shape and the form, and I think they just look fantastic. It's a really tight crop. You know, you ain't going to know where this is. You know, it could be anywhere in the country, but it's just, I just love the look of those trees. They're almost silver in their colour, and then they've got the lovely green on them. I just really like it. So I've taken one of these set of trees here. I've also taken one of this bigger tree here with this fern. It's a bit messy. I've had to do a little bit of tidying up, like moving some branches and bits and pieces, and there's still quite a large area, I feel, of that image that could be a little bit dead space and messy, so we'll see about that one. But this one I really like, and now I am moving on. So you know, I said I'm definitely going from this area. Well, that's nearly true. For some reason I was just packing away and I looked down and I realised how much texture there is on the floor here, how many little pieces of bark and leaves and scrub and stuff there is on the floor. So I found this really nice piece of bark here that's got some lovely lichen on it, and would you believe there was a leaf laying right, no, okay, there wasn't a leaf laying right on it, but I found a really nice autumnal yellow leaf, and I've just placed it ever so nicely on the bark and taken a top down shot of it, and I think it looks really nice. So I found a beautiful spot here, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking this is an absolute cliche shot, and it is. It's a total cliche shot. Looking down a track into like a tunnel of tunnel of trees with leaves arching over the top. But if you're going to do a cliche shot, bloody hell, do this one, because it's absolutely fantastic. On the left hand side, I've got this lovely sort of I think it's probably a beech tree, possibly, but the leaves are starting to turn, so they're going a lovely sort of yellowy colour, and all the rest of the leaves all the way down the avenue of trees are a darker green. And then you've got all these trees overarching over either side, so you've got no light at all except for a few little highlights, which I'll get rid of in Photoshop. And then the thing that makes the shot for me is there's a little pool of light just in the foreground here, sort of about a third of the way into a shot, and that makes the shot because it's beautiful bit of light there where there's obviously a gap in the canopy of the trees, and you've got this light streaming in. Now, because it's overcast, it's a nice even light, so I haven't got any harsh highlights or harsh shadows to deal with. I've got a nice even light. I'm shooting at a second, and there's absolutely no wind, so like it's not even a consideration worrying about movement in the leaves. There's nothing at all. There's not even a breath of wind, so that's good. And then the other thing that I've done is I've had a couple of people wander past, and I've just got them in the shot. But obviously, second exposure, they look like a ghost, aren't they? So I've kept the composition the same, and then I've bumped up the ISO so I can get a faster shutter speed to freeze them a little bit in the shot. But they're a long way down, a long way into the shot, so hopefully you won't actually be able to notice any movement in them at all, even if there's a little bit. So yeah, what a beautiful shot that is. I'm really happy with it. I think it's going to be really nice. So forgive me that it's incredibly dark. It's just that I'm ooh, looking up. There's a really nice shot there, looking through the canopy of leaves. Sorry, forgive me that it's very dark. I'm just literally covered by a canopy of leaves, as I just said, and also it's very overcast now. But that's absolutely fine because that's really good conditions for this sort of photography, in my opinion. That nice early morning soft light, but the harsh light makes it very difficult. Anyway, I've come across this scene here in front of me, and I've been looking around for quite a while, may I add. I've been sort of wandering about. I found an area of dead trees. There's nothing really in there. I had a little wander in there, and I've sort of been looking around, and I keep coming back to these. I think they're beeches. I think they're beech trees. Someone will correct me, I'm sure they will if I'm wrong, but they look to me like beech trees. They've got these lovely silvery sort of trunks, and I found a little sort of gaggle of them here, if you like, and I've managed to. There's 4 of them, and one of them's got a lovely sort of branch coming off at about just above head height, with lots of leaves on it, and I've just got separation between each of them, and through the middle, so you've got 3 together on the left and 1 on the right, and through the middle you've got a really nice bit of light. And there's a lovely bit of light at the top, and I'm going to introduce a little bit of light underneath as well, and I really like it. I will show you it on the screen, but I'll have to show you it as an image because it's so dark. It's incredibly grainy, the live view on this camera now, the EVF. It's very grainy because it's so dark. I mean, I'm shooting this at, let's have a look, 4 seconds, which is incredible really, but there is, as I said earlier, there's not a breath of wind, so there's no movement at all, which means that 4 seconds is perfectly fine to take this shot. And I really have to say I really like this one. I might have a look at this little set of leaves up here above, take a shot of that backlit, and then probably head over just a little way over there, because again I can see something that looks like there's something there. So I'll show you these, and then I'll come back to you when I've headed a bit further along. glossy overcast conditions and the sun's back out, so I think that's my cue to leave. It's about 11 o'clock. Oh, oh, I've got to get this, hang on. That's a big old toad, wasn't it? Crikey. Just hopping across the road in front of me, yeah? Or the pathway in front of me. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so sun's come out, so I'm going to stop and head on to the next location that Alan's got for me, because I think I preferred this wood when there was a nice even sort of diffuse light rather than these bright highlights. But that's been great. I've got some, well, I feel like I've got some fantastic shots, so that's an absolute bonus. Really, really good. It's about 11 o'clock, so we're 3 hours in, 33 hours to go, 2 places down. Things are looking good. Famous last words. Anyway, on to the next, on to the next. So I very rarely swear on camera, but hell, where has he brought me? Jesus Christ.